Every single day, people do incredible, death-defying things. Whether they're doing it for recognition or simply existing in their day-to-day life, it's amazing either way. Some of these people have done incredible feats that no one else in the world has, nor will anyone ever follow in their footsteps. These people are the record holders, the world champions, incredibly impressive people with a skill set no one else happens to have. From the world's longest uninterrupted flight of 2 months to the person who was struck by lightning many times in his lifetime, people doing incredible things that no one else wants to or even can do. Today, we're going to look at 20 incredible, interesting world records that no one has been able to break, as well as a few that no one would even think of. You'll want to watch this one all the way through because you won't believe what people are capable of. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Heaviest amount of bees on a human body. Would you ever wear a bodysuit made of bees? Would you let multiple colonies of bees cover your body? Ruan Liangming from China holds the world record for such a feat. He wore the thickest and heaviest bee suit anyone had ever worn, which was made up of 637,000 bees and weighed an incredible 140 pounds. Ruan holds this record because Guinness doesn't recognize dangerous stunts like this for their world record, so while it's incredible, this may be one world record everyone should set out on. Number 2. Uninterrupted airplane flight. In 1959, 2 pilots, Robert Tim and Jim Cook, flew an aircraft for over 2 months without landing, refueling by matching speed with a truck driving down the road. Their record hasn't been broken yet. This 64-day, 22-hour, 19-minute-long flight still holds the undefeated record. Probably not because it's impossible, but because who has the time, skill, or resources? Number 3. The heaviest load that a single person has ever pulled. Most people hate exercise. It's difficult and feels taxing on the body. However, what about exercising for a world record? Kevin Fast set a record no one will ever break, no matter how hard they try. The strength and power it takes to set the world record for pulling the heaviest load is incredible, beyond most people's understanding as far as athleticism and skill goes. Yet on September 15, 2008, Kevin, at a height of 100 feet, pulled an airplane that weighed over 126,199 pounds. He set an incredible hulking world record that no one else will ever come close to, and all he had to do was strap on a harness and be his powerful self. Number 4. Heaviest weight supported by a human tongue. While that's an incredible weight, it's certainly not the heaviest one anyone has ever dealt with, nor is it the most impressive. Thomas Blackthorne did something no one else has been able to do, and probably for good reason. He lifted 27 pounds with just his tongue. It took him 6 years to train his tongue to hold that amount for just 5 seconds, and the weight was held by a hook pierced through the tongue, which held 4 weights. He was perfectly fine, just in case you're wondering, and he's held the record since 2004 when he did it in the first place. Will anyone ever break this one? Probably not, but it's possible. Number 5. Most metal eaten by a single human. Some people have such refined palates that they can enjoy eating almost anything. Michael Latito, for example, was known for regularly eating things that aren't typically what you might think of as edible. Things like TVs, bikes, and even once an entire airplane. By 1997, Latito had consumed nearly 9 tons of metal in his lifetime, making the man from Grenoble, France, a world record holder. The thing is, Michael suffered from a disease that changed his palate and made him eat things other than food. And while he did die, eventually, it was ruled natural causes, and definitely was not from eating metal, as it might be if anyone else attempted the same incredible feat. He might hold this record forever, which might be for the best. Number 6. Longest distance an airplane was pulled by a human being. We're not done with Kevin yet, though. He has several weight-pulling records, as it turns out. He wasn't quite finished when he pulled his airplane in 2008. Just a year later, he pulled another plane, this time more than 3.5 times the weight of the last one. He wasn't quite finished when he pulled his airplane in 2008. just a year later, he pulled another plane, this time more than 3.5 times the weight of the last one. This 416,299-pound beast of a CC-177 Globemaster III airplane wasn't enough. This record wasn't just weight, but distance. He pulled the craft 28 feet, setting an impossible record. No one will be coming for this title anytime soon due to the incredible difficulty of the feat, but Fast was able to assure folks that had a finish line not been set prior, he would have been able to pull it for much longer. So if someone comes for his title, it wouldn't be for very long. Number 7. World's longest fingernails on a single hand. Incredible bodies are a dime a dozen. Most people have something incredible about them even if they don't realize it. Sridhar Chalal from Pune, India had something no one else in the world could beat. By not cutting his nails on his left hand for an incredible 66 years, he grew them out to an unheard of length of 29 feet 10.1 inches. This uneven growth allowed for full mobility of his right hand while allowing the ones on his left free rein. This all started when he was just 14, and he'd been chastised by a teacher for breaking a nail. This isn't exactly an easy world record to break. It caused Chalal a fair amount of pain and made sleeping normally difficult. It's fair to say this record belongs to Chalal at this point, unless someone has a spare 66 years to spend on this. A few other people hold similar records, but it's hard to beat this level of commitment. Really. Number 8. Most rotations done while hanging from a power drill. Do you have the perfect mix of incredible upper body strength and a can-do attitude that says, I can do literally anything? It was sheer creativity that earned Tae Hye Gwing his spot on many world record lists, something that no one else in the world could have thought to do before he did. The man from Cologne, Germany could spin 148 times in a single minute while hanging from a power drill. This happened in December of 2008, and while it's incredible in and of itself, who thinks of this stuff? Number 9. Longest time spent in space by a single human. While we're on the topic of flight and the ability to keep it going for long periods, we have to talk about Valery Polyakov. Not everyone has the chance to go to space. It takes years of training and schooling to get to that point, making the sample size of people even to get this record ultra low. Polyakov, however, held the record for the longest continuous stay in space, spending 437 days aboard the Mir space station between January 1994 and March 1995, a little over a year. This record was almost challenged by U.S. astronomer Frank Rubio, who in September of 2022 went on a space mission, spending roughly 371 days in space. This wasn't supposed to be the case, but a coolant leak had been discovered on his ship and got him stuck on the International Space Station until September of 2023, rather than March when they planned to have him return. This broke the record of becoming the longest time a U.S. astronomer spent in space, previously held by Mark Vandy. However, it's still nearly 2 months short of Polyakov's record, and due to the nature of getting up there and being an astronaut in the first place, it'll probably stay that way. Number 10. Most decorated Olympian of all time. Getting a gold medal is amazing. Most people don't get their bodies to this level of athleticism, much less maintain it. You're competing against incredible athletes worldwide, and you only get a try to do it every 4 years if everything aligns. For athletes like Michael Phelps, it tells a story of someone at their absolute peak with awards that declare that they're the best person in the world doing what they do. He holds the record as the most decorated Olympian of all time, with an incredible 28 Olympic gold medals. There are 23 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze. Not only that, but Phelps managed to stack up with several Guinness World Records, having set them in the process. These include the most silver medals awarded in a single Olympic swimming race, the fastest swim long course, and many others. The thing is, due to the nature of the Olympics, how difficult it is to get in, and the sheer volume of medals Phelps secured throughout 5 separate Olympic appearances, chances are he'll hold this record forever. Good for him. Number 11. Most direct atomic blasts survived by a single human. Incredible bodies stretch the meaning of what we understand endurance to be. Whether you're an incredible athlete or simply have a steely strong stomach, it all comes down to what you're capable of withstanding. Satomu Yamaguchi was in the wrong place at the wrong time and holds a record that'll hopefully never be broken. He witnessed both atomic bombs dropped in World War II from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. During the first bomb drop, he'd been on a business trip in Hiroshima, which had been miraculous to survive, given that between 90,000 and 146,000 people were not so lucky. After this, Satomu went back to his hometown of Nagasaki. It was just in time for him to witness and further survive the second bomb, which killed between 39,000 and 80,000 more people. You could call him lucky or maybe extremely unlucky. Still, he lived through and witnessed something no one else in the world could claim to have, and then, despite it all, he survived the world but lived to the age of 93 and saw the turn of the century, only dying in 2010 of stomach cancer. It's incredible, knowing just how far the body will go to keep you alive, and while we hope no one will ever be able to beat this record, it's amazing that anyone did it. Number 12. Most Big Macs consumed by a single human over a lifetime. Years of medical research have led us to the nearly unanimous agreement and understanding that maybe you shouldn't consume an enormous amount of McDonald's Big Macs. However, Donald Gorski had other ideas. The man from Wisconsin has been eating incredible amounts of Big Macs for 37 years, having consumed 23,000 burgers by August of 2008. He'd eaten at least one Big Mac every single day since 1972, as it turns out, and he wasn't going for a record at all. He was simply existing and doing this because he enjoyed them. This was the official Guinness certification, but he kept going after. By 2013, he'd eaten well over 26,000. The most amazing part about all this, in 2011, he visited his first doctor in over 25 years, only to learn that his cholesterol was actually decently below average. Maybe he's onto something. Number 13. Loudest decibel burp in the world. Most people in the Western world recognize burping as rude. You weren't allowed to do it as a child, and you'd probably apologize for it today. But what if you honed your burping skills? What if you became an incredible burp artist, pushing the bounds of what can be accomplished by escaping air from your stomach or esophagus? Paul Hunn of the UK did something no one else could do. He let loose an astounding 109.9 decibel belch in 2009. For reference, 118 decibels is like a clap of thunder, which is an incredible thing to be able to put forth from your own body. He's a professional, though. You can't just wake up one day and burp like that, could you? For Paul, it comes down to training. His routine is simple: skip breakfast, drink something fizzy, lean forward, take some deep breaths, open your throat, and let it go. No one else has been able to do it. But it seems easy enough, right? Number 14. Most roof tiles broken by a human in 1 minute with bare hands. There's only so much anyone can do with their bare hands. People can be terribly skilled and still unable to pull off massive feats. This is how Taekwondo expert Lisa Dennis broke a record that no one can quite top, no matter how hard they try. On the Lo Show des Records, set in Italy, on July 11, 2014, Lisa broke 923 roof tiles in 1 minute with her bare hands. It's incredible, but probably highly specific enough that no one will ever break Lisa's amazing smashing record. Number 15. Most targeted by lightning person. The saying, lightning never strikes in the same place twice, is far from true. There are plenty of ways to get lightning to continuously strike in the same spot. But it's true sometimes, at least the chances of a person getting struck by lightning more than once in their lifetime is so high that it might as well be never. It's 1 in 15,300 chances to get struck once, so it probably won't ever happen twice, right? Wrong. Roy C. Sullivan has been hit 7 times and lived to tell the tale. He was dubbed the Human Lightning Conductor and was struck 7 times between 1942 and 1977. These lightning strikes weren't what took him out, though. He lived until 1983. A long and improbable life. All right, that's it for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Forever Green, and hit that bell icon for more. We'll see you in the next one.